Hi, Yao here, and in today's presentation I'm going to show you why positive thinking does not work. Now I'm going to suggest that we think in pictures, okay? So if I asked you to think about your house, what comes into your mind? An image of your house, right? If I asked you to think about your room, what comes into your mind? An image of your room. I mean, you don't see the words R-O-O-M, do you? No, a picture of your room comes into your mind. Now if I ask you to think about a pet, or your fridge, or your school, or your office, right? Pictures are just coming into your mind. So we think in pictures, okay? So now let me ask you something. What does your mind look like? I mean, a lot of people that have asked this too, most of them, I'll say 97% of them will say the brain, right? But your brain is no more your mind than your fingernail is your mind, right? Mind is an activity, mind is movement, and your physical body is a manifestation of that movement. So now, because people don't have an image of what the mind is, right, there comes a lot of disorder when trying to think of the mind and how that whole thing works in terms of your thoughts coming into your result. So before you can understand why positive thinking doesn't work, and stay tuned because at the end of this video I'm going to show you some fantastic things you can do to actually start being positive instead of thinking positive, okay? So going back to the mind, right, and why positive thinking doesn't work, there was a guy named Dr. Thurman Fleet in 1934. He was actually a chiropractor, and he came up with the stick person, okay? And the stick person was supposed to be, or is supposed to be, a visual representation of how the mind looks like, right? Because now, with this image I'm going to show you, you're going to have perfect order in your mind in terms of thinking how your thoughts come to your results, okay? And please, don't let the apparent simplicity of this drawing fool you, because this drawing is actually very deep, and I suggest that you watch this video over and over and over and over again, because with repetition you're really going to get this concept and be able to apply it to really see some amazing results in your life, okay? So here we go. This is the stick person. So in terms of the stick person, you have a big circle. This represents the mind, okay? And I'm pretty impressed by that circle because that's pretty good. And this over here represents the body, okay? So you have your little arms and legs, okay? So this is the stick person right here, okay? So to represent your five senses, you have little antennas over here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, and you can touch. Right? So based on your five senses, you pick up information from your outside world. Okay? So the mind is divided into three parts. You have your conscious mind, you have your subconscious, and you have your body. Right? So this is your conscious, your subconscious, and your body, right? Each part has different functions, although it's all one. There's no separation in between them. It's sort of like the rainbow and the colors in the rainbow. There's no separation, but they all have their individual functions, right? So your conscious mind is where you do all your thinking, right? So this is where you do your thinking. So like I said, you get information from your outside world based on your five senses, and you're able to think about the information you're getting, right? Based on what you think about, you can either accept or reject the ideas that you think about. So you can accept or reject the ideas that you think about, okay? And also in your conscious mind, you can also originate thoughts. But most people actually don't do this, right? Most people allow their outside circumstances based on their five senses to determine what they think. But you can also originate your thoughts, right? So you can think, you can accept or reject what you think, and you can also originate thoughts, right? So these are the main functions of your conscious mind. Now, I would suggest that you read this book by James Allen. It's called As a Man Thinketh. And it really goes into, it's really short, it's a nice short read, but it really goes into detail as to how your thoughts lead to your results. Now going to your subconscious mind, right? This is the part of your mind where all your emotions lie. Right? Some people refer to this as your emotional mind. Okay? This is where all your habits lie. Okay? So your emotions and all your habits, they all lie in your subconscious mind. Now, there's one very important factor about your subconscious mind. This part of your mind is not able, okay, to reject any idea. It can only accept an idea. So it can't reject ideas. It can only accept ideas. Right? Can only accept. So based on whatever you're thinking about in your conscious mind, right, this part, your subconscious mind, whatever you impress onto it can only accept it. It can't reject it. You can think of this like a tape player, right? The tape player can only play whatever is given to it. It can't reject it. It has to play it because that's the function of the tape player. This is the function of it's like the function of your subconscious mind. It can't reject whatever you give to it, can only accept it, right? And based on whatever ideas or habits or emotions are in your subconscious mind is the formative power that creates your outer world. And so, based on whatever is in your subconscious mind, you're going to act through your body. So this is your actions, right? And then eventually, you're going to get results, okay? So a simple formula for this, guys, is your thoughts, right? Your thoughts in your conscious mind leads to your feelings, right? Your feelings in your subconscious mind, which leads to your actions, right? The actions that you do in your body through your physical being, which will lead to your results, right? So this is a simple formula to really get this down. And guys, like I said, you have to come back to this and watch this over and over and over again, because the more you watch it, the more this is going to make sense to you, okay? Now, in terms of how positive thinking does not work. So, I'm actually going to erase this one quick second, and we're going to go to that part. So in the meantime, just think about this real quick while I erase this. Alright, so you got boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now, actually just came to me, a good book to read for your subconscious mind is actually The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. It's an excellent book. It goes into detail about the power of your subconscious mind to heal your body, to create your circumstances. It's a phenomenal book, and I highly suggest that you read it. Okay, so now, why positive thinking does not work, okay? So you have a certain individual. This person went to some seminar, read some inspirational book, and all of a sudden they're like, yes, I'm going to think positive. But this individual in the past has been a negative person. In their conscious mind, they have been thinking negative thoughts. In their subconscious mind, they have planted seeds of negative habits, negative emotions, right? And guess what? Through their body, they're acting out in ways where their results are negative. So they're getting negative results. Right? So now this individual reads or goes to a seminar and is really excited and wants to start thinking positive. So for the next month, he's determined to start thinking positive, right? So whatever negative thoughts the individual gets, he wants to switch it right away and think positive. So he goes ahead and does this. So in his conscious mind, all of a sudden, this individual wants to think positive. Before I go there though, I want to go through really quick what happens in the conscious mind. When you're thinking negative thoughts, guess what kind of thoughts primarily happening right here? Right? You're worrying and you're doubting a lot, okay? So you get a lot of worry and you get a lot of doubts, right? These are the kind of thoughts floating through your conscious mind, right? The more you impress this onto your subconscious mind, the more worry, doubts that you have, you impress into your subconscious mind, this turns into fear, okay? So now you start to fear, right? You have the feeling of fear, thinking negative. Now, what happens into your results in life, right? This turns into anxiety, right? There's a lot of anxiety happening in your movements, in your results in life. You're at dis-ease. Nothing's really in harmony in terms of what's going on. Everything's chaos, okay? So this is what happens when you think negative. So this person got frustrated. They're like, no, I'm tired. I want to start thinking positive. So they start doing it. They start thinking positive. So in the conscious mind, they start thinking positive. 2 weeks go by, they're still thinking positive. But guess what? Nothing has changed. I mean, they might have, you know, through just the power of repetition of ideas, they might have implanted a couple of positive thoughts into their subconscious mind. But guess what? This is what that looks like right now. It's a tiny speck of a habit barely formed in your subconscious mind. Okay, so this person is trying to think positive and hoping that will change the results in their life. But the major part of their habits and emotions is still negative. Okay, that's what's still controlling their results. And so positive thinking is not helping in any way, shape, or form to change their results, because that's just in the conscious mind. That's just intellectual. It's like reading a book, a positive book, and the next day forgetting about what happened or not applying any of the concepts, because it's actually just all happening in the head, right? But then you get this other individual who goes to the same seminar and observes the presenter and reads under the lines of what actually means by being positive, right? This person is talking about being positive, okay? This is not thinking positive. You actually have to be positive, right? This is an emotional activity. It's not just head thinking. You have to actually be it, okay? It's like describing a cake to somebody. You can tell this person, you had the most delicious cake in the world, right? It had, you know, strawberries in it. It had chocolate in it. It was just this amazing cake, right? You should have had that cake. But guess what? Doesn't mean anything to that person, okay? The person will agree to say, yeah, I guess it was good. But imagine this. You hand this same cake that you had after saying all of that and give it to a person to eat. Now this person getting emotionally involved with the cake, okay? This is going to change everything they feel about what you just said, right? So this is what I mean by being positive as opposed to thinking positive. So anyway, this person decides to be positive, okay? So this guy beats positive. He's being positive. Now, he starts thinking positive thoughts, but as well as acting in positive ways, right? So he's not only just thinking, but in his feeling, he starts to feel positive. So any negative idea that comes, he has a counter affirmation or counter behavior to it, where it's totally positive and filled with a lot of emotion, right? And here's the key, it has to be filled with a lot of emotion, because guess what? Your subconscious mind is where all your emotions are. So if you've created emotions that are based on negative thinking or negative habits, you have to now recreate emotions based on positive thinking and positive habits. So it's your emotion, guys. And I'm stressing this because this is where the key lies, okay? It's your emotion. So this guy starts being positive. And I'm just going to draw this real quick. His results are positive now, okay? So in terms of being positive, your thoughts are based on understanding, right? So your thoughts are based on understanding. So now you're not worrying and doubting a lot. If something's not going wrong, you understand the whole process that, okay, I haven't figured this out yet. There's no reason why I need to stress about this. I just need to take certain steps that's going to lead me to finding out the answer. And you remain calm about it, and you go through that process without panicking or being all anxious about it, because you understand. And even when things are going great, you understand that it's a cycle. I mean, that's the law of rhythm, where things go up and things go down. So when you're up, you're still doing things at your best, but you have the understanding that you're at a place where you're really up right now. And so you don't just go with a feeling and be super happy and all that, and then when you crash you're just super sad, and you know, that kind of mumbo jumbo. So understanding is what's going on through your thoughts. In your subconscious mind, you're actually having faith, right? Because you understand what's going on, so you have a lot of faith as to the type of results you get. And over here, your actions will be in a state of well-being. So you'd be in good health, right? Your finances will be in order. You have a lot of friends. You just be a happy individual, right? And so this is the two differences, guys. These are the two differences. Negative thinking, positive being, okay? Not positive thinking alone. Yes, you're thinking positive because your results will affect your thoughts. Once you see how your results are by being positive, you're going to start thinking more positive. But the key is to be positive, okay? So the more positive you are, the more positive ideas you're going to deposit into your subconscious mind. These ideas are going to become fixed habits, and eventually you're just going to be a positive person. Okay, you still have to maintain that attitude of being positive, but it's not going to be you're not going to use as much effort as you did before. Okay, so I mean, this is just a simplified version as I can give you, but at the same time show you exactly what's happening in terms of being positive. So couple of tips, guys. These are the 3 tips I'm going to leave you off with in terms of if anything goes bad, if you're feeling sad, if you remember some kind of sad events that happened in your past, if something's not going well, if you're just a negative person in general, you want to try and be positive, this is what you should do. I mean, yes, you can think positive, but here's where the key lies. You have to be positive. So if something goes wrong, someone cuts you off on the road, or you're going to the subway and the door's about to jam and some jerk just runs and hits you and doesn't say sorry or anything like that, right? Now before you go into that negative state of mind, right away start laughing. Right, and this has to be a genuine laugh, guys. It can't be you know, you're laughing and behind your laughter you're like, oh, what a jerk, what a bum, like, oh, how can you do that? But it has to be a genuine laughter. You're laughing like, wow, this guy really is having a horrible day. I am wow, did you actually see that? Like, he almost like crashed into a tree. Oh man, that's amazing, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to laugh. You want to smile a lot. Why? Because these are emotions. This is what gets implanted into your subconscious mind. This is how you become positive, not just think it, okay? And so that's one tip. Second tip that you can actually do is to sing, right? So if something wrong happens, you find that, you know, you not having your paycheck that's supposed to get paid 2 weeks in advance, your paycheck's not coming in. Instead of getting all worried, you can just laugh. Or sorry, I just did that. No, second tip, sorry guys. You can just sing, okay? So sing a song. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. You can whistle as well. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Sometimes you might hit the bank and crash into a tree, but it's okay, you know, cause at the end of the day, it's the part of the journey, and you'll be back in the stream and keep going on, just keep going on. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream, right? And this is how you emotionally just change your whole state, right? I mean, you're still not getting paid in 2 weeks, but at the same time, you're not affecting how effective you can be at work, or be with your family, or even with yourself and planning or working out. Whatever you're doing at the moment, it's not being effective by being all anxious and worrying about what's going to happen in the future. I mean, if you can't do anything about it, if you're not going to get paid, then find out what substitute you can do, and by being positive, you can actually think more clearly as to how to solve it, as opposed to being all in a confused state and not knowing what to do. And once you get all tensed up, guys, like negative emotions has actually been proven scientifically to tense up your body. It slows down your circulation of blood, doesn't allow your blood to flow as well. You're not getting the nutrients provided to your body as well as it can be, and also your acidic level in your blood, in your body, goes up, right? So this causes a lot of dis-ease, okay? And so just sing a song. And the next thing you can do is actually move, okay? Dance. If something goes wrong, just all of a sudden start boogieing. Yeah. It's okay, I know it just went wrong, but I am going to solve it. And just start dancing, guys. Just start there, dance, sin. Because I'm telling you, by the end of your dance session, your mind would have been in a totally complete different state to actually solve or handle that situation better, okay? Now, I tend to do this a lot, so I might come up a bit over the top, but this is where you want to get to, guys. Like, this is actually where you want to get to, because, man, then your life just starts to just be more at ease. You just become a happier person. And so this is why positive thinking does not work. You actually have to be positive, guys. And this is my tip. Watch this tape over and over and over again. Share and like it with your friends, because I feel like it's an important message people need to get. And for more resources, you can go to theselfimageguide.com. My name is Yao, and thank you. Have a fantastic day. Bye, guys.